We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. The Philippines is set to start exporting local durian to China in March. Malacanang said the country will ship an initial 7,500 metric tons of durian. The Department of Agriculture earlier announced that durian will be initially exported from producers in Davao City, Davao del Sur, and North Cotabato. On January 4, the DA and China's General Administration of Customs signed an export deal for fresh durians from the Philippines to China. The agreement is expected to open up the Chinese market for about 50,000 metric tons of fresh durian. The DA noted that the exportation of durian is expected to generate at least 10,000 direct and indirect jobs. Back in January, Manila and Beijing signed a $2 billion fruit export deal to step up imports of high-value agricultural products during Marcos's state visit to China. In other news from Malacanang, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has sought to fast-track the digitalization of a database of farmers and food balance sheet or FBS to strengthen the country's agricultural industry. In a meeting with the Private Sector Advisory Council or PSAC, Marcos acknowledged the need to update the processes and systems in the agriculture sector. To date, over 5.4 million farmers, farm workers, and fisherfolk have registered under the National Registry System for Basic Sectors in Agriculture or RSBSA. Registration in RSBSA is a basic requirement in availing of agri-fishery related government services. The PSAC told Marcos that food security could be attained if there is a digital FBS that would promote transparency and ensure data-driven decision-making. It said the proposed FBS can increase the income of small farmers and result in additional government savings. The PSAC also proposed to earmark around 1.2 billion pesos for the distribution of coconut seedlings. The Department of Labor and Employment said employees who skip work today will still be subject to the no work, no pay policy. This after Malacanang declared February 24 as a special non-working day. According to DOLE, the no work, no pay policy will be followed if an employee doesn't show up for work unless there is a favorable corporate policy practice or collective bargaining agreement. Meanwhile, employees who show up for work are entitled to receive their overtime pay. They will receive an extra 30% of their basic wage for the first 8 hours of work. If the employee reports for duty on a special day that also falls on his or her rest day, the employee will receive an additional 50% of the basic wage. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. declared February 24 as a public holiday in place of February 25 to honor the 37th anniversary of the EDSA People Power Revolution. In order to make church annulments more accessible and affordable for more Filipinos, the House Committee on Population and Family Affairs passed a bill seeking civil recognition of such annulments. House Bill 1593, also known as a Church Nullity Act of 2022, authored by Tingog Party List Representatives Jude Asidre and Dieda Maria Romualdez, was filed on July 7 of last year. In a statement, Asidre thanked the committee for its favorable action. He said this is a significant development that provides hope for an efficient and more affordable procedures to help couples who were caught in an irreparable relationship. If the bill is passed into law, Asidre said a declaration of nullity of marriage made by the church will carry the same weight and have the same consequences as a legal annulment. And that's the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Presidential Communications Office. Stay tuned for more news updates. I'm Marita Muaje. We tell stories that inspire change.